NASCAR away doubleheader. Today we have a truck and Busch Series race for you on the stream. 250% races to make up the full length of a race. And we're going to start things off with the Busch Series today. Usually we go trucks, then Busch, but we'll switch it around a bit. We'll run the 100-lap Busch race at Las Vegas, followed by the next race at Atlanta for the Truck Series. Be sure to hit the like button if you are just tuning into this stream, and be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Daily NASCAR content right here on the channel. And as far as today's race goes, we will be starting at the back. No pressure for this Busch race. I'm not sure the exact length of the Atlanta truck race off the top of my head with it being a 50% race, but nonetheless, we'll try to go for a win in both series. Busch Series hasn't been great for us so far. We're third in points for the first three races of the year. Only 39 points out of first. Paul Menard leads the early season standings. He is the most recent winner as well, winning at Boulder Raceway Park yesterday, which was the first road course race of the season. Kevin Conway had a win at California, and we won the season opener with Martin Truex Jr. at Daytona. So that's where we pick up. We have finished first, 19th, and 11th. So first, 19th, and 11th in the first three races so far this season. So the Samstown 150. Let's get this underway. I'm just hoping I have a good car, capable of being able to race its way to the front of the field while still having the grip needed to make the corner. Oh, big checkup going into the first turn there. Getting up to speed is going to be a little slow. And trouble off turn two already. A ton of smoke on the outside lane. No major stack up, it seemed. I'm scared already. These guys are moving around a ton at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and a lot of cars crowding in that middle to upper line. So with Truex here, just trying to keep it right around the bottom. So hooked onto that white line. Well, contact with the 163, and it looked like maybe Denny Hamlin was to his outside. And more trouble off of turn four. Big stack up there. Up to 26 now for Truex. Passed a lot of cars. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8-car leads. Got to get used to Las Vegas. This is currently what Las Vegas would look like by the way of banking. Obviously, freshly paved racetrack. On the prior EA games when we raced at Las Vegas, it was the flatter version of this 1.5-mile oval. You're just seeing a ton of slingshots everywhere. I think that's what's causing these early stack-ups. Oh yeah, it was definitely a fun game today. 4 goals in the first 8 minutes of the game. That's insane. Had to have been one of their better games of the season. For those of you that don't know, I was at the Detroit Red Wings game earlier this afternoon, so that's why we had a later stream today. Hence a little primetime NASCAR. Missed most of my Packers game. I was trying to catch as much as I could as driving home. Caught the very end of the game, last 3 or 4 minutes or so of regulation. Unfortunately, they were eliminated from the playoffs, so up and down sports day for me personally. Yep, 7 in a row. Let's see, Wade, Patrick, Shadley, JoJo, thanks for tuning in. Jackson Thomas, Ethan Chua as well, welcome to the stream. Slight wobbles by the couple cars right in front of us off turn 2. Trying to manage the throttle as best as I can to make these passes. This guy's down on the apron trying to make a pass. Kind of clipped our left rear corner panel just a little bit. It does seem like these cars are moving all over the place, though. The 24th. 3 wide on entry into turn 3. A few other cars kind of bobbing and weaving. Really looks like a lot of these cars are struggling to hold their line. Definitely floating quite a bit in the center of the corner. And they're running more of that middle to upper groove of the racetrack. Not really running right on the white line. Creating pathways for Truex to get by on this inside lane. Up to 21st. Slight squeeze. Made a pass there. Now going to get underneath the 18 of Kevin Conway briefly. Not going to be able to stay there. NCAA March Madness, thanks for tuning in tonight. I haven't seen too much on the changes side of things, but I have seen that NASCAR has made some rule changes over the last week. Contact with the car in front of us. I believe that's Greg Biffle. The 16. We'll bump draft to him down the back straightaway. Slight slide right in the middle of the corner. Quite a bit of contact with that 3M Ford to get into 18th. A little contact just in front of us, too. And Pablo Montoya quick to cover the bottom. And then some down on that apron. It's Kevin Harvick in the 29 up on the outside. Closer we get to the front of the field, it does seem like a lot of these other cars are running us a bit tighter. Lap 13, but we're moving our way through this field pretty quickly. Big chop off by Montoya in the middle of the corner. Started high. Finished the corner down low. Truex to the outside of the 42 on entry into 3. Makes that undercut move to the inside. Slight contact off turn 4. Held Montoya up more than it held Truex up. Slow car blowing an engine. Looked like that might have been somebody from the tail end of the field behind us because we did not gain a position off of it. So our first exit of the race, it looks like. First driver to blow a motor. Quick crossover move by a fantasy driver trying to get back to the inside of Truex. Just hanging on that left rear corner panel, and Truex has to give him the room. That car just slid right up into us. This car is moving all over the place. I will say, I feel like I haven't held a great line either. These guys just, I mean, they keep running me up the track. Freshly paved racetrack, yet it seems like there's no grip. Up up to 13 for Truex. '17 car, Matt Kenseth's led almost this whole race. Oh boy. That was a big block. Almost gone wrong. Almost turned myself right in the middle of the front stretch. 50% races because it's a late night. Didn't get these streams started until 8. But because we're doing a double header for both series, it's basically the equivalent if we were to run a full truck or Busch race anyway. So that's why these are 50% races. It would have been either one full race or two 50% races. I definitely wouldn't have had time to do a cup race today, so that's why we're running the Vegas Cup race tomorrow. Actually, I didn't take a picture of where my seats were for the game, but I was section 101, which would have been just behind where the defensive side would have been, behind the goalie. So Detroit had their defensive end on our side of the ice twice, first and third period. 15 rows off the ice. Pass made for 12th on Mike Wallace. The Geico number 7 car. Another car blowing an engine, and again, that was the driver further back towards the tail end of the field because we didn't gain a position out of it. Casey Kane to the lead on Matt Kenseth. So picking up a lead change. Big chop off at the last second by that 21 car. It's the third driver I've seen down on the apron with some sort of a mechanical failure. Three wide on the front stretch. Staying underneath the 20 of Hamlin at least. Door opened up. Big dive by the 21. Center of the corner. Truex going to make the pass still as he slides around. Down on the apron. Just got body slammed right in the middle of the corner. Shoving Paul Menard in there too. Things are getting dicey. Clear on Menard for 7th. AI are just bouncing off of each other right now, bouncing off of me. There they go again, hitting each other. Dale Jr. making contact on the car he was trying to pass there. It looked like it might have been the 18. Little bump trap to Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the front stretch. Truex looking to pass his teammate down into turns 1 and 2. Little loose on entry, glued to the white line. Clears Dale Jr. for 5th. And contact with the leaders here at the front of the field, and we're going to split 3 wide on the back straightaway. Boyer in the middle. I don't want to be up here. It is getting tight. Still 3 wide and tight. Dale Jr. busts his way back up to 3rd. Lap 25, and we've got a huge battle at the front of the field. Cars starting to slide around a little more. Looking like this should be a pretty easy one-stop race. Trying to back the corners up a little more, and the car's just getting more and more free. Very tightly, 3 wide off the exit of the corner again. And these tires are just wearing out a ton. Gonna have to split this race in half. Quickly underneath the 2 of Clint Boyer for 3rd. Clear on the back straightaway. Now Dale Jr. looking to get by Kenseth for the lead. And Truex to the inside for 2nd off turn 2 down the back straightaway, but not going to be able to hold on there. Back to the inside of Kenseth again. And clear off turn 4 for 2nd. So Dale Jr. leads, Martin Truex Jr. in 2nd. We'll see if these top 2 can start to pull away here. Could be back-to-back wins for DEI, with Menard getting a win in the last race at Boulder Raceway Park. And now with Dale Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. 1-2 at the front of the field. Really having a hard time looking at the chat tonight. I apologize for that. This car's not handling the greatest, and the AI are just all over the place. Up here at the front of the field. Every time I try to back the corners up on this car, it just slides out from underneath me way more. Try this middle to upper groove. Dale Jr. with contact, and Truex slides the car again. Another moment. Going for the lead. Not going to waste any more time here. Side by side off turn 2 with the teammates. Truex clear down the back straightaway. Now trying to hold on. At the start-finish line, that'll be 5 bonus points for Martin Truex Jr. as he leads his first lap of the race. Dale Jr. leaning on us again. Really not trying to hit that apron. Cars on the free side. I don't like how they just do not hold a line. You're side by side with them, they're moving all over the place. My car's moving all over the place, so hard not to make contact. We kept it relatively clean, though, all things considered, for these first 30 laps. And I don't know that Truex is going to have pull-away speed necessarily, but try to split this race in half, go 50 laps at 50 laps. Who's my next time to root for next? I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, who am I getting root for since Green Bay is done? I don't really care. I don't root for anybody that isn't my favorite team. I mean, it'd be cool to see the Lions win, just having all my other sports teams based out of Michigan or Detroit. But I don't know that I would go out of my way to necessarily root for them. Commanders, Bucks. 3-0 Bucks. Yeah, I'll be watching that game as soon as I'm done streaming. Probably be around halftime by the time this stream's done. Watch the second half. Truex is slowly putting a little bit of a gap, though, over second on back. Trying to go for the second win of the season. It's our first mile-and-a-half track I've raced on this game. So maybe these banked intermediate tracks with this new Vegas, Atlanta, and the truck race coming up next. Maybe we'll have some good speed there also. I like being out in front of the field here because I can really push. And I feel like I'm actually saving the tires a little bit more also. As I say that, bit of a power slide. Could have been worse. I got to go another 15 laps on these tires, and then we'll end up hitting pit road. So, as long as they can hold on that long, I'd like to think they can. I mean, my prediction was the Lions to win the Super Bowl going into the playoffs. I would have wanted Green Bay to win, but I knew that there was really no shot we were even going to get past Philly. Well, contact up ahead of us in that group of lap cars. Causing a bit of smoke off the exit of turn 2. 11 car starting to get just a little bit more free. Deeper into the run. Yeah, Packers won. They would have been playing in Detroit next week. Quarter of a tank of gas left for what we have. This thing's starting to drift just a little too much for my liking. Overcorrected it there. Hit against the wall off turn 2. Big slowdown by the lap cars getting into 3 and 4. I'm scared to pass these lap cars, to be completely honest, how sideways the car is getting. Oh boy. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. Back on the racing surface. Golly. This car slides so much. I slid on the back straightaway because I kind of clipped that 112 car. clip the apron that time. Yeah, I start clipping the apron, that gets worse and worse. If I don't clip the apron, I'm fine. Get close to it. There we go. That was a good corner. When I'm not around any cars, I feel like I'm able to hold my line a lot better. Don't flip that apron. We're good, we're good. Still got that pull away speed. Come on, cart. Come on, cart. Don't wreck it. Don't wreck it. Literally dirt tracking this thing. Ah, oh, shoot. Don't spin it out. This thing's getting loose in the tri-oval now, too. I barely have to turn the car. It just wants to spin out on me. Stop it. It overcorrects so easily, too. Can't wait to get 4 fresh tires back on this thing. Yeah, I'll go one more. One more lap and then we'll pit. Yeah, I'm definitely going to tighten this car up a little more. All right, we're pitting. Don't speed. All right, we're good. Going to put a half a round of wedge into the car, try to tighten it up just a bit. It was fine up until about the last 10 to 15 laps of that run, and then it was just ungodly loose after that. It was making me sweat a little bit. This game is ridiculous with how... Honestly, this is as close to NASCAR 21 that I've played on a NASCAR video game. With the speed glitch and just how loose your car gets out of stupidity if you don't have stability help on certain ovals. Like this one. Oh, what happened here? That was weird. All right, off and away. 4-tire pit stop. Back up onto the racing surface. Jeez. Couple guys flying by us. Flying by us only to end up hitting. What is that? Why? He went from the top of the racetrack to the bottom to block us. It wasn't even a clean block either. I can understand that if it was clean. Fell out of the lead. Back to third after the cycling of green flag stops. That is going to be the only pit stop of the race. And we are caution free to this point in this Busch Series event. Hopefully take care of our tires a little bit better this run. Going for second. Under Kenseth, clean pass. Oh, both 17 cars are up here. That's weird. I don't know which one's which. Kenseth leads. Danny O'Quinn Jr. was the 17 we just passed. I didn't realize they were both up here. Now we're going for the lead on Kenseth. There we go. Truex back in the lead. Now we got a piece of the wall. Left at about 11 a.m. this morning. Oh boy, a lot of smoke. Big smoke off turn 4. Still got cars slow on the front stretch that we're catching at a very rapid pace. Buddy's Pizza in Detroit. Really solid pizzeria. It's a chain place based out of the Detroit area. But yeah, it's best pizza I've had, personally. So if you're ever in the Detroit area, highly recommend Buddy's Pizza. There's several different locations. They're all owned by the same people. But all within 10, 20 miles or so of Detroit or into Detroit. I went to one of the buddies' pizza locations. It's definitely a go-to. Go there a lot. The mid-afternoon games or night games, I try to go there. I was on TV. Cool. I did show up. I walked behind the second intermission where the news desk was. I keep wanting to say for Fox Detroit. But the Detroit broadcasts, they usually have Red Wings Live or intermission reports, post-game, pre-game, basically on the concourse. I was walking to get some food at second intermission, and I ended up passing by it. I was on my way to get the cheeseburger I ended up getting. Probably because I was taller than everybody else there. Maybe that's why you might have saw me. But yeah, I passed by it. It was in the way. I had to walk around it. Should have asked for an autograph during the interview. No, I don't want to do that. They're on the air. Don't have time for that. I'm never one to ask for somebody's autograph. I've had opportunities in NASCAR garages and stuff to get autographs from drivers, but I don't care enough to do that. .7-second lead. Things are looking good for Martin Truex Jr. Trying to get his second win in the first 4 races of the season. Go 1-for-1 on the mile-and-a-half track. So Flat Vegas was pretty good for me of the mile-and-a-half tracks on NASCAR 07. Probably my best mile-and-a-half track on that game. Not the flat Las Vegas Motor Speedway anymore. Back to the banked oval that we know of today, but still having some success. Looking to cap it off with a win. Again, we will still have a Truck Series race, though, coming up on this stream. This is our first race of 2 on this doubleheader Sunday night. Kirk Maltby's going to your area in a couple of weeks. That's pretty cool. Former winger. The amount of times I've seen heavy smoke around this racetrack and seen contact with other cars, I don't know how we haven't had a caution. 2/3 of the way home. Gotta save those tires. Big contact with the car in front of us there. Whole bunch of lap cars slowing us up now. Oh boy. Everybody hold your line. My goodness. Yeah, don't want to make any rivals either. Nick Cronwall's 44th birthday's today. I didn't realize he was that old. Guess he's been retired for a little longer than I'm thinking. He was one of the last ones to retire, though, of the Red Wings that were in that dynasty era. And had won a championship or more with the Detroit Red Wings. "28 laps to go for Martin Truex Jr. Car's still holding on fine right now, especially with clean air around us. And a lot of it. It's going to be quite a ways before we catch yet another lap car, and even after that, it looks like there's only one and then another giant gap to the next set of lap cars. Paul Menard's up to second, so 1-2 for DEI on the leaderboard. Dale Jr., who was up at the front leading laps at one point earlier, is outside of the top 5 at the very least. Outside the top 10. Is he out of the race? He might be. I haven't really looked up at the leaderboard much in this race. 17th. Wow, Dale Jr.'s really fallen off. That's who we took the lead from the very first time earlier, right around 40 laps or so in, and that's going to be interesting. Caution is out for the first time today with 27 laps to go. We got trouble on the front stretch. Debris off the 112th car as he was riding behind Denny Hamlin. Well, this is going to get crazy. We were setting pretty there, almost a 2.5 second lead, 27 to go, caution's out, and now we're going to have to fight for this win to the finish. And what was acting like an easy day, now going to be a little bit harder. Quite a few cars that are lapped down, they'll be on the inside of the lead lap car line. It's a double file. And we are down to 23 to go as the green flag's back in the air. Not a great restart for Truex. The 2 lap cars getting by on the restart, but then 1 lap car pulls up in front of Paul Menard behind us, who was in second, so now we have a buffer. So we look to get the speed into turns 1 and 2 and just trying to hold on everybody at this point that is behind us and in that rearview mirror. Have to continue to do what we can here at the front of the field, try to conserve our tires. Menard still scored in second, still 1 lap car between the top 2 on the leaderboard. Next question is, will we stay green to the end of the race now? Will that be the only caution? .729 is the fastest lap of the race for the 11 of Truex. Menard trying to go for back-to-back wins as well. Almost a 1 second lead as Truex is slowly gaining on the 2 lap cars that got ahead of him initially on this last restart. 20 to go here at Vegas. We did tighten the car up. Put a half a round of wedge in during that one and only stop of this race, and that might have conserved these tires a little bit more over the course of this one. Blowing by a lap car through turns 3 and 4. We'll try to get the next one down in 1 and 2. And we got him. Oh, we held on one restart. A lot of smoke on the front stretch again, too. There's probably got to be quite a few other cars that are banged up quite a bit. Oh, no! Caution! No clue the lapper was there. I thought we were pulling away from him. Second yellow of the race. I'm trying to figure out how he got alongside of us that quick. I was just kind of widening out my line to make the corner on entry down into turn one. I had zero clue that guy was there. I'm staying out of the pits. Screw it. Gonna have to bunch the field back together again. That's definitely gonna hurt the tires quite a bit. I don't think the car's hurt too badly. 14 to go on the restart. Following our second caution, green flag back in the air again. I don't think Menard's in second anymore either. Four-lap car is going to get by Martin Truex Jr. Tires holding on fine that time through 3 and 4. 13 laps to go. Lane corner trying to get by another lap car. At 17 of Danny O'Quinn Jr. still trying to stay close. Keep things interesting. Try to pay a little bit more attention out of the rear view. Late dive into the corner and overcorrection and a lot of contact with the lap car. Gonna hold on to the lead. All clear of the next lapper. $11 to go. Got to continue to hold on at the front of the field. 10 to go. A little power slide off turn 2. It wasn't terrible. Kind of stayed in the gas and drove out of it that time. Just gotta hope it stays within decent control. Come on. Let's start doing this. Honestly, if I didn't have that slide, I think I would have been okay to the end of the race. Because the tires felt fine all the way up until that point, at least. They're definitely starting to give away more since the restart. A little better through 3 and 4 that time than what it was on the other end in 1 and 2 that last lap. 8 laps to go now for Martin Truex Jr. Good news is he's got clean air. Won't have to worry about any more lap traffic the rest of the race. He currently has a 1.1 second lead. 7 laps to go around this 1.5 mile track. We'll try to get the sweep of our doubleheader tonight. Truck race, driving as Mike Skinner for that season. It'll be race 3. This is race 4 for the Busch Series at Vegas. But race 3 for the trucks at Atlanta. We'll run the Cup race for race 3 at Vegas tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll get things started there. Six to go. Five to go. Car's definitely starting to free up more and more. Lost a tenth or two that last lap to second place. It was better through 1 and 2 that time. Picked up a tenth. Kind of let it slide out towards the wall without the rear tires chattering too much. Oh, I had to lift that time to keep it off the wall off turn 4. Don't want to lift at that area of the corner there. 4 to go. Oh, man, I lost 3/10 in that corner alone. It was a big-time lift trying to keep it off the wall. Better than hitting the wall, I guess. A lot better through 1 and 2. Backed it down, but then overcorrected. Come on. I'm trying. 3 to go. This car's not cooperating with me at the wrong time of the race. We're good. Better than the last lap. Skatey. 2 to go for Truex. Seven-tenth of a second lead. Oh, big wiggle getting down into turns 1 and 2. The balance is off. And a scrape against the wall on the exit of turn 2. Going to scrub more straightaway speed off as he enters turn 3. Truck's trying to hold off Casey Kane, who's up to second. Danny Oakland Jr. still right there behind him in third. Sliding off turn 4. Lead down to 4/10 of a second. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Martin Truex Jr. So the car is finally starting to slip away on us at the end of the run here. Going to have to try to play defense. Trying to manage the throttle better through 1 and 2. A lot better car control that time. Do that again in 3 and 4. It'll be no problem, and we should easily stay in front of Casey Kane. Little wiggle on entry there. Not as bad through the center. And a little scrape against the wall. Nothing major. Flat footing it back to the line. Martin Truex Jr. is going to hold on and win at Las Vegas. Tires are really starting to go in the wrong direction there towards the finish, but going to hold on one way or another. 2 wins in the first 4 races for the number 11. Daytona and Las Vegas in the first 4. And back-to-back wins for DEI following a Boulder Raceway Park victory for Paul Menard yesterday afternoon. All right, I'll take it. Look at our finishing results. From last to first, and we still led the most laps, 63 laps led out of 100, so max points day for Truex. Casey Kane second, Danny O'Quinn Jr. third, Matt Kenseth fourth, and Paul Menard fifth. Each of the top 5 finishers all led at least one lap. Ty Cleaver ended up finishing in sixth as the first driver that did not lead a lap, while Pablo Montoya finished 7th, Kevin Harvick 8th, Dale Earnhardt Jr. 9th, and Clint Bowyer rounds out the top 10. 25 cars finished on the lead lap today. And as far as DNFs go, we had 4 drivers fail to make it to the finish. Jamie McMurray, David Stremme, Marcus Ambrose, and Beat Finley, a fantasy driver. Margin of victory, 0.2 of a second, 20 lead changes, 2 cautions, 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 38 seconds total time on this race, and average race speed of 137.09 miles per hour. Take a look at the point standings before we work our way into the Truck Series race at Atlanta. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Might be back in the points lead. Yep, 16-point lead over our teammate Paul Menard, who had a 5th place finish today. Cleaver, who finished 6th, is 29 points back at 3rd. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 4th, Mike Walls 5th, John Woods 6th, J.J. Haley 7th, Kevin Conway 8th, Sam Hornish Jr. 9th, David Reagan rounds out the top 10 in points. All of our teammates there in the top 4. Good to see. Good run for DEI in the Busch Series side of things early. I have to take a moment to load another profile, then we'll go to the Truck Series at Atlanta. No practice or qualifying for that one as well. Not winner, winner, spaghetti dinner today, no. Yeah, we got the chicken. We got the chicken dinner today. "65 laps at Atlanta, not a long one. Should be a 1 pit stop race again, just like we had at Vegas. We went about 50 laps in the Vegas race, so we'll probably end up doing around the same amount of laps here at it, so I don't have to worry about old tires to the finish. Definitely going to be adding some downforce. I would say winter, winter Kentucky Fried Chicken dinner. Tarantula soup. No thanks. Give me that downforce. Setup-wise, I'm literally going to start with the same thing I just had in the last race. These trucks tend to run a little slower at the couple tracks we've raced. We've only raced California and Daytona in the Truck Series. Ran at 4 different tracks on the Busch side, but only 2 for the trucks in the Cup up to this point. All right, we'll see how this goes. Tim Brown, thanks for tuning in. And here we go. Johnny Benson on the pole. Mike Skinner trying to go from worst to first. How's Atlanta going to drive in this game? Getting up to speed. Pretty even for now. Bit of a group starting to separate there in the middle of the pack. Already a couple of 3x3 racing in the back half of the field also. "65 laps, not a long time to go from worst to first. Squeeze down at the bottom of the track. I was not aggressive enough there. I backed up the corner a ton. I didn't think I was going to have enough room, but he actually ended up giving me room. I didn't know if it was going to be like a Vegas deal where they're going to be basically all over the racetrack, but it seems like they're more steady here than what they are at Vegas. I almost wonder if that's because it was a newly paved racetrack in this game, at that track specifically. So Skinner won the season opener, leading 95 of 100 laps at Daytona. Second race of the season, finished 19th at the California Speedway. Three wide, looking for 27th off turn 2 down the back straightaway, and he's got it. Johnny Benson out in front of the field still. He is our lone teammate in this series as well. Big run on the front stretch here for Skinner. Late block getting down into the corner by the fantasy driver just in front of us. That lifted and lost a lot of time getting into turns 1 and 2. Oh, little contact on the front stretch. Creates an opportunity for Skinner to make this pass attempt. 3 wide down into turn 1. Very deep dive. Got one of them, but couldn't get them both. And give this truck a bump trap down the back straightaway. Try to help him out. Gain a little extra speed. Do the same on the front stretch of this next truck. Just got to blast him. Up to 23rd, 22nd rather. Looks like Eric Darnell in the 99 taking the lead off turn 4 and getting 5 bonus points, leading his first lap of the night. Oh, bit of a stack up. Off turn 2, it's Skinner going 3 wide to the bottom. I bailed. Sometimes they give me room and sometimes they don't. Felt I wasn't going to get a lot of room there. Oh, more of a stack up. Maybe the 1.5 miles are going to be my strong suit on this game. That was my weak spot on NASCAR 07. It might be roles reverse. It might be my best kind of racing. Our first 2, Vegas and Atlanta. Vegas in the Busch Series and Atlanta for the trucks. And maybe have a shot to go 2 for 2. Darnell led for a couple laps. Benson back in the lead again. I'd imagine things are going to separate quite a bit during green flag pit stops when we get there. 3 wide entering turn 1. Just enough room down there. Looking for 15th. And now 14th. Couple more. Clear for 12th. Have to pull out the bump draft. Middle of the front stretch on the 137. Yeah, we haven't had a short track yet. I think Martinsville's actually the next race for the Truck Series. (10-3) Washington. Oh, Johnny Benson's starting to fall behind a bit. Not only not in the lead, but he's not even in the top 5 anymore. Darnell lost the lead as well. He's on the outside 3 wide and falls out of the top 10. Skinner to 9th off turn 4. Oh, big time run on the front stretch. Contact with the trucks just in front of us. More contact. Overcrowded him. Middle of the corner, trying to get back down to the bottom. Now we're clear, Mac. Straight away and try to settle back in again in 8th. Easy Network, thanks for tuning in. That was a good game, I thought, the other night, honestly, between Ohio State and Texas. It was close until that stupid score. About 2 minutes left in the game. I still can't believe it was 1st and goal at the 1. Lost 7 yards on that toss play and then ended up on 4th and goal around the 7-8 yard line, and then the stupid score. Another bump draft on Johnny Benson. Almost said Johnny Sauter. Wrong Johnny. And a run for Skinner under his teammate. Johnny Benson solidly through the center of 3 and 4. Holds on right in front of Skinner. That's kind of catching a bit of a second wind. Oh, we're good. Banging fenders up the middle. 3 wide, back to the bottom. Not sure I wanted to do that, but the hole opened up. Now to the bottom, 3 wide. Up to 2nd. Leader blocks entering turns 1 and 2. Skinner's up to 2nd place. Only took 20 laps to go from the back towards the front. 180 truck, fantasy driver on the outside. Skinner leads his first lap at the line. That'll be 5 bonus points. Truck still handling fine at this point in the run. 21 laps in as Skinner's clear for the lead. And still clear down the back straight. Like a Talladega race it basically is. I think we'll get separated quite a bit when we get into pit stops. Last of first and 20 laps, though. 50% race started at the back and was still able to lead the most at Vegas in the Busch race earlier in the stream with Martin Truex Jr., so trying to do the same thing in a 50% race with even less laps in the Truck Series for Mike Skinner. 65 laps here compared to 100 in the Busch Series. Both 1.5 mile tracks. So again, maybe the 1.5 mile's the strong suit for ourselves on this game. Can I get an OH? And an IO. No, not for me. Tires are definitely holding up a lot better here than what they were in the Busch race. I guess the speed's being down more. I'm only hitting 156 miles an hour on the back straightaway. I just think overall in the Truck Series in general in this game, you just have more mechanical grip because of how much slower the trucks are going. My fastest lap is a 32.691. That last lap I was in the 34s. Everybody was. So tires start to fall off. The tire fall off, it seems like in the Truck Series, equates more to just slower lap times rather than looser or tighter equipment compared to the other two series. Depending on how your car is handling early in the run, it gets worse in that direction. For the Cup and the Busch, you start tight, it gets way tighter. Start loose, it gets way looser. Saw ourselves getting loose at the end of a run both times in the Busch Series race already tonight. The truck stand underneath Mike Skinner here this evening at Atlanta. Yeah, I'm a Michigan fan. I can't do the OHIO. Back to 100% tomorrow, yeah. 100% race at Vegas tomorrow for the Cup Series. Kind of a two-car breakaway at the front of the field. Or I guess for this series, a two-truck breakaway. We did have a late caution in the Busch race, 2 of them actually, in the final 27 laps. There is a modified series in this game, but I'm not going to plan on running them. I don't plan on doing any more modified series seasons on either NASCAR 08 or NASCAR 09 when we get there. Right, we're finally starting to give way a little bit. So we're down to a quarter tank of gas. So towards the end of the fuel run as well. Fuel window accelerated a bit, obviously, with it being a 50% race. We'd definitely be able to go further in a full race. Split this race in half, we'd have to go 33 laps on one run, 32 on another. TJ Bell, by the way, is the second place truck who's kind of followed us at this point, ahead of the rest of the pack. Johnny Benson did drive his way back into third place recently as well. Definitely going to be a 4-tire pit stop when we make it. Try to take this fuel run as far as I can first. We're in a good position. Now we just need the pit crew to not make a mistake. And obviously we have to make sure we don't speed as well. Our only stop of the Busch race was under green. No practice, no qualifying, but made a perfect pit road entry. Hopefully we can do the same in the truck race here at Atlanta. 70 miles per hour, the speed limit on pit road for every track in this game, same as it was for the earlier EA NASCAR games. At 31, down to about an eighth of a tank of fuel left. Go a couple more. Make sure we're in our window. I haven't noticed anybody drop out of the race yet, and I haven't looked up at the leaderboard to see if anybody's out either. First half of this thing. Don't get as many DNFs for the 50% races. Pit at lap 42. I don't think I'll be able to make it that far. Because the tires are staying underneath me a lot better here, I would like to go as far as I can. Or at least until they start to fall off the truck enough. Forces me to have to pit earlier. TJ Bell's right there, though. He's definitely trying to put some pressure on us. Bell's going to come to pit road. And a lot of others are on their way down as well. Skinner definitely going to need a quick stop. We'll stay out one more lap. Skinner going one more. Wait for pit road to coming down there. Looks like everybody else came to pit road that last lap. That wasn't Skinner. So Skinner will be the last to pit. Lap 35. We'll have exactly 30 laps to go when we cycle off of pit road. Bell being as close to the back bumper as he was on us, pitting 2 laps earlier, he'll probably cycle to the lead. Should have the speed to get him back. Solid pit road entry there for Skinner. Gassed it up real quick at the finish. No adjustments, 4 tires, and a full tank of gas for this 5 truck as we try to go for a doubleheader sweep here this evening. Vegas and Atlanta, 2 different series. Well, that's costly. Is that the rear tire changer that ran into the... Had to have been either the changer or the carrier. It looked like the changer. Very slow pit stop for Skinner's crew. And that's going to cost him a lot of time here. So he tries to get up to speed. On the back straightaway, giving a bump trap to the 108. Shot him through, trying to squeeze into the gap that the last truck was in. Tried to close it off at the last second. We were already there. I think that was Chad McCumbee in the 08. So up to 7th. 4.6 to 4.5 seconds off the lead after that very slow pit stop by the pit crew. that was a bad stop by the crew. Not a lot of time to try to get back into this race either. Got a truck blowing up. It's not a position though. I think we're going to need a caution. $25 laps to go. Have to keep giving a bump trap to the truck in front of us. The 180. I didn't even know Staples was still in business, honestly. It's like that might have been one of the companies that went under. The Radio Shack. They not around anymore either. Also, it's the 180 and the 5 started bump drafting each other. They are catching up to some other trucks. Big run coming. The 180 flying by Johnny Benson in the 23. Skinner going to do the same. Clear. Travis Quapple in the 6 outside of the 180. 180 truck trying to get around him, but not going to be able to. Benson looking to slip back to the outside. Skinner covers the middle to upper groove in the center of 3 and 4 and holds on. Closer, about 20-25 minute drive. I think there might be one in Bowling Green. I know there used to be at least. Unless that one under 2. Got the top 2 trucks up there. Only 2.5 seconds off the lead. It was 4.5 when we first came out of the pits. Still 21 laps left. Plenty of time. Try to make this pass on the 180 truck. Looking low. Not a lot of room and had to bail. It's not going to make that corner without contact. 4 trucks under a blanket. 3rd through 6th on the leaderboard. Slight wall scrape getting into turn 3. This guy's crowding us. Bottom of the track, top of the track. The 180 does not want the 5 of Mike Skinner to get through. Big run. Massive run for Skinner on the front stretch. Blows by Quapple. Gets to the inside of the 180. Stays underneath the 180 on the backstretch and now catches a draft off of Eric Darnell in the 99. Skinner's all clear for fourth. Trying to come back from the slow pit stop that the pit crew had. Side by side for the leaders. They're definitely going to be slowing each other up as they battle door to door. TJ Bell led that lap at the line. Skinner and Darnell are coming. Both have led laps today. Really wonder who's up here battling with Bell as well. To the outside goes Skinner. As he enters turn 3. Tried to get back to the bottom, but a very quick maneuver there by the 6 of Quapple. The 180 slips underneath the 5 of Skinner as well. Skinner will stay in front of him at the start-finish line. So lost a spot. Big block there by Quapple down to the bottom of the track entering turn 1. A lot of smoke middle of the back straightaway. Not sure what that was from. And we've got a pack of racing up here at the front of the field. Darnell did get to the lead. Quapple in second. And here comes Skinner down the back straightaway, and he's looking for second on the outside. Ran out of room. Big run by the 131 up the middle. Now Darnell's the one on the high side. Skinner had to block and cover the bottom again. Just boxed in everywhere we go. Darnell, after falling out of the lead, going to fall back to 5th. Skinner with a bump draft on the truck in front of him. Big push into turn 3. And they'll be side by side for second. Caution is out. Our first caution of the race with 16 laps to go. Oh boy. Things were heating up. Then we had a slow truck. He get hit? Oh, yeah, he did. I was waiting for it. Oh, rollover for the 107. Johnny Benson clipped him. He was the second truck that clipped him. The first truck that clipped him, I'm not sure who it was. It was another fantasy driver. I've never heard of Shields. Shield store. All right, well, we're going to have a restart close to the end of the race. Don't think there's going to be anybody a lap down in this shorter race. And it is going to be a sprint to the checker. Here we go. Yeah, brain damage for sure. 12 laps to go. Atlanta Motor Speedway. Craftsman Truck Series, race number 3 on the season. Skinner looking for third on the restart. Got a good launch. Side by side with TJ Bell. Not going to clear Bell, though, by the time they get down into turns 3 and 4. Bell holds on. Skinner's going to stay in 4th after the restart. No positions gained or lost. Contact. Bell clipped the left rear corner panel of the 131 truck, and here comes Skinner to the bottom. Clears Bell underneath the 131, entering turn 1. And now it's Darnell out of nowhere on the outside. He's boxed in behind the 131 with nowhere to go. Skinner on the bottom getting a draft off of Quapple. Quapple nowhere to go. Run to the inside for Skinner. 3 wide for the lead as we split Quapple into turn 3. Down to the apron, trying to stay out of the way. And a tight line. And maybe not aggressive enough trying to hold the bottom above the apron there for Skinner as he had to get way out of the gas. This is a wild restart at Atlanta. 10 to go. And Skinner out in front as he leads into turn 1. Clears Quapple. Darnell on the bottom. Looking for second. Quapple back on the outside. Not enough of a run. Skinner blocks. Oh, we got a race, ladies and gentlemen. 3 wide for second off turn 2. Quapple in the middle. Darnell down low. 9 laps left. Skinner blocking for his life. It's just like a pack race at Atlanta. Is this new Atlanta? How'd they get new Atlanta in NASCAR 08? This is better pack racing than we saw at Daytona in the Truck Series. 8 to go. It was hard for us to lose the lead when we got it earlier on the first fuel run. 2 laps after the race start, we got it. We'll see if we stay green to the finish. We had a great launch initially in the restart until I got to 4th gear. And then when I got to 4th gear, it really stalled out. That's where TJ Bell was able to get us back in 3 and 4. Not sure how that would be from the lead if we had another restart in this one with another late caution. We had 2 of them late in the final 27 laps of the Busch race, one with about 16 to go here in the truck race. 4 trucks at the front of the field starting to pull away from everybody else. Barrel rolled today. Thanks for tuning in. 6 laps to go at the line this time by for the 5 of Skinner. And a lot of the big Truck Series names from this time period are all up at the front of the field. A couple of former champions. Skinner, Quapple, Darnell, former Truck Series race winner. And fantasy driver in the 131. Fast lap of the race for Skinner, 31.776. That was during the Kurt Tire Stent post-green flag pit stop. No adjustments were made, but the truck got a bit quicker. 5 to go at the line now. We're trying to sweep the doubleheader. Recently bought NASCAR Heat 5. Yeah, it's a good game. It's better than the one I'm playing currently. Although this Atlanta race has been a lot of fun. There's certain tracks it hits right with this game, and then there's other tracks it's just terrible. Vegas was a little too wonky. I know I won that race, but cars did not hold the line at all. They'll run you off the racetrack, too. Though we had that at Daytona a couple times as well. Across the Busch and Cup Series, at least. Especially early in that 500 with the 01. Or no, it was the 09, Mike Wallace. Yeah, Heat 4 and Heat 5 are definitely the best of the Heat games. I personally like Heat 4 a little better than Heat 5 because there were some glitches with the game on NASCAR Heat 5. It's pretty much a copy and paste game, so it was about the same. But I can remember when the game first launched, there was issues specifically with NASCAR Heat 5 that NASCAR Heat 4 didn't have. There are features in NASCAR Heat 5 that I wish were in Heat 4. But gameplay-wise, I think Heat 4 is just a little bit better. It was just less buggy is really what it boiled down to. Only 20 bucks, there you go. I don't know what I paid for NASCAR 08. I can probably look. Oh, I gotta pay attention here. Pay attention. White flag. 1 lap to go. It's just a 3-car pack now. The 131 car truck, I should say, who was in 4th, has now fell well behind the top 3. So you got Skinner, Darnell, and Quapple in the hunt here on the final lap. And I really don't think that any of their positions are going to change as we have a half a lap to go. Skinner into 3 and 4. Checker flag will be waving. And Mike Skinner going to get his second win of the season. Daytona, race 1, race 3. Here at Atlanta, following the 19th place finish at Fontana and California Speedway. I'll take it. 41 minutes and 54 seconds total time on the race. And Mike Skinner gets the win here at Atlanta. We get the sweep of our doubleheader on NASCAR 08. Well better than the trio of races we had at California Speedway across all 3 series, and even the Boulder Raceway Park road course race for the Busch Series yesterday, which looked like we were going to be in the top 10 until we got caught up in a late race incident, nothing of our own doing. Just got dumped from behind, but here today, a clean one, and we'll take the dub. Rest of the finishing results as follows. We did lead the most laps in that race. Actually got credited with the most laps led in the final 5 laps when leading. So max points day despite only leading 26 of 65 laps. Eric Darnell led 4 laps, finished second. Travis Kvapil in third with 5 laps led. Chad McCumbee ended up fourth. Wilson Eubanks, highest running fantasy driver, in fifth. T. Jones sixth. Billy Chapman ninth. Art Stewart in eighth. C. Vance in ninth. And TJ Bell rounds out the top 10. C fell behind late. He led 13 laps. Our teammate Johnny Benson led 6 laps, finishing 11th. 2/10 of a second margin of victory. Total number of trucks that finished on the lead lap were the ones that did finish the race, which was 34 of them. And 2 drivers DNF'd, D. Grant and T. Hall. And Hall, I think, got caught up in that incident late, bringing out the caution, setting up a restart with 12 to go. On his lid, I believe that was the 107 truck. 19 lead changes, 1 caution, 143.33 mile per hour average race speed. And again, 2/10 of a second margin of victory on this one here today. Bulky Chapman. Is it actually Bulky? I thought it was Billy. All right, Martinsville will be the site of our next truck race. Looks like Martinsville, Kansas, Charlotte. Don't know what Toyota Raceway is on this game. And then Dover. Probably another rebranding of one of the fantasy tracks, kind of like we had with Boulder. But I will take it. Doubleheader sweep. Across 2 different series and 2 different tracks. Oh, it is. Skinner's got a 30-point lead over Eric Darnell. Chet Vance is the C. Vance guy. I like that name, Chet. Chet Vance. Sounds like a 70s or 80s NASCAR driver name. Eubanks, Stewart, 4th, 5th. Carswell won at California, 6th in points. And you got Chad McCumbee, 7th. Travis Kvapil, and 8th. Harold Jackson, 9th. And Johnny Benson is 10th in the standings after the first 3 races. 3 races out of 25 in the books, and we've ran 2 50% races on the trucks, 3 in the Busch, 1 in the Cup, 4 total across all of those series still to come. Appreciate everybody tuning in here today. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We'll be back again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. We will be live with the Las Vegas Cup race. It'll be a full 400-mile, 267-lap race there. So again, 6 p.m. Eastern will be our next one. Be sure to hit the like button on the stream if you have not done so yet. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. See you tomorrow, everybody. Have a good rest of your Sunday night. Unfortunately, Packers lost. Can't say go Pack go, but go Wings! 7 wins in a row today. Had a fun time at the game earlier this afternoon.